clicking in their ears the whole time.
Yeah, it
I
would
mean,
get
it's
annoying.
bad enough
And I
for
think
me to listen to you two for an hour, let
You
alone
love
having
it.
clicking going on.
Yeah, right? Can you imagine?
Hello, we are Lovejoy, and you are listening to the Lovejoy podcast. Hello,
Lovejoy Nation.
Lovejoy Nation
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
Hello,
Listen up.
Lovenjoyers. Facts are coming.
All right, welcome back to the Lovejoy Nation podcast. Angie and Dave and I are here. We just got off of the tour, the very brief European tour. I say we got off like we were on the tour, but the fandom just returned from being on tour. The band is back home. They did 3 shows, right? 2 in Poland, 1 in Turkey, a really quick whirlwind tour. But I got to say, those fans, compared to the 28 stops in North America, the number of videos and photos from those shows, those 3 shows, the amount of content, my gallery on my phone is jam-packed.
I absolutely agree with you there. My pages have just been Poland and Turkey.
Right?
aside of just the concert photos, what I really loved is seeing photos of the people in queue. Everybody looks so excited. They're all just pumped. And I mean, I want to be in a queue in Poland because it looks like so much fun. They've
Seriously, I
totally
would.
cemented their status as #1 Lovenjoyers. I mean, you guys rock.
Hands down, like
Yeah.
that giant Wilbur cardboard cutout. I love the getting ready for the concert, like their outfits and stuff. Oh, I love all that stuff. It was great to see. And beyond that, it seemed like they were an incredible audience for the band.
Yeah.
Like a really great crowd. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that, of course.
Yeah, and Warsaw in Warsaw as well. But it absolutely was amazing. I not gonna lie, like I say, I saw more pictures and videos coming out from Poland and Turkey. I know you sent me stuff whilst you're in the queue and various things, and sent me stuff I used to wake up to. But I've seen more stuff on the socials than what you've ever sent me and whatever you've posted from America. Whether it's because I'm in Europe, I don't know.
I love that Will did the Warsaw Wiggle in Warsaw. We haven't seen that for a while. He just busted that right out.
Yeah. I think, and
That was
people were
cute.
worried that they weren't going to even play the song in Warsaw, but of course he had to do that. But yeah, seeing the Wiggle return was great.
Yeah.
Honestly,
circle.
it'll be a very sad day if they don't play Warsaw in Warsaw. You know what I mean? The crowd would be like, we're not going anywhere until you play it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that's going to happen.
I think they're stuck doing that.
There's a couple songs they didn't play that people took note. Common Touch and Deathbox.
Mm.
Do you think it's because the third guitar situation? David, you had mentioned that?
Yeah, quite possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had the trumpeter and he played the keyboards as well.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see a guitar there.
I was just going to mention No Yovazal as well, but the lighting, especially in Turkey, was amazing. Brand new venue, so their lighting setup was freaking awesome to make up for the fact not having the Yovazal visuals was all I was going to add.
I didn't notice the visuals, and it took me a while, and it was like, well, there's nothing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
That was, for me, I think, a tad disappointing. Did they get the full thing? It was a small tour. It's a shame there wasn't something.
I know, I get that. It did make for great photography, though. I think the lights, the way they were, that's why so many phone pictures came out so clear.
Yeah.
And videos, too.
Yeah.
There were some that even looked like they had a rainbow behind them. And they were just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But that, I know we talked about this earlier. The picture after the show in Warsaw where the guys were still on stage and they're all just smiley, happy people. That's my new favorite Lovejoy pic. Isn't that adorable? I love it. It's just so genuine.
Yes, and we don't often get, surprisingly, full pictures of the band, just the 4 of them, right? It's always just a couple or one.
Not often.
Not often do we have the 4 all together, and just, the great crowd behind them, and their smiles were huge and genuine, so that you could tell it was just a great, great night.
And of course, in Poznan, we got to see the new VIP merch, which was a hat and a poster.
Mm-hmm.
No cards.
I know.
Yeah.
Someone had
Which-
said they got VIP specifically for the cards.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw
wow.
that too. Yeah,
That's too bad.
I'd be gutted.
I know you would be, especially. Yes.
Yeah, because I try my best to collect them. I can't collect them all, but because they're stupidly expensive. It's a little disappointing. But were the tickets cheaper? Do you see what I'm saying? Obviously, you've got to transfer Polish money to dollars to Brits or whatever, but were the tickets, the VIP tickets, slightly cheaper to counteract? No,
not having the cards.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the meet and greets looked great. They looked similar to ours over here. The silly poses and things, I enjoyed to see that. Enjoyed seeing that. Their merch was cool. Their hoodie had like a angel statue kind of a thing on the back, right?
So cool.
In that same OST style, the red and black. That was neat.
I'm hoping that ends up on their website.
Exactly what I was going to say. Even if it's like end of year, January sale, this is what's left over
right
from this tour, that tour. Because not necessarily the VIP stuff, there might be a few bits and bobs left over. Yeah.
VIP.
But, because I'm hoping if we get VIP and for argument's sake, we got a hat, I might be able to swap a hat for a scarf with one of you two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. That would be kind of cool to have the hat and the scarf.
Set. Yeah, it was like a winter hat, like a beanie or like ski hat.
I like the idea that there are different things across the world, potentially.
Yeah, I'm glad they did change it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exclusive to Poland and Turkey.
Right.
Exclusive to America and Canada. So,
and I suppose a scarf at this time of the year might have been a little not useful, but I love our scarves. They are way cool.
Moving right along. Right before they embarked on this 3-stop tour, Wilbur streamed, and this was massive news. The last stream he had done was October 2023, so he joked when he came on about, is Barbenheimer still cool?
That was funny.
So he said he wants to use streaming as a way to update fans with what's going on, stuff he's making, stuff coming out soon. He wants it to be fun and not a job like it used to be more of a job, like a money-making thing. But I'm sure he's still making some money, which we are all for.
Right. I like how he said that streaming was going to be more casual, hopefully, in like green rooms before gigs and stuff like that. I think that'll be fun. If I remember correctly, I think he did a stream in a green room. Was it? Oh, gosh. I think it was before the Arizona show, maybe in December of 2023. Don't quote me. I'm just kind of pulling that, but it was pretty fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing him just be more relaxed and having fun with it.
Well, that was my first stream to watch of his.
Was it?
I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it was. I've watched these videos, these geography videos and all that have come out.
Mm-hmm.
But this was my first live stream.
That's cool.
When he started playing games, I did turn it off. I'm not going to lie. So I've missed that latter part. But loved the information he put out. That was fantastic about his next video as well. But yeah, I'm hoping to see a little more backstage streaming. Love that idea. Even if it's I've only got a quarter of an hour, guys, blah, blah, blah. Here's a quick this is what's happening.
Yeah, and it'd be fun to have the rest of the guys pop in on it, Elodie as well. That's a possibility. So it's not just a Wilbur stream, but it's sort of like Lovejoy sprinkled stream.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
He also brought up the idea, or what's going to be, hopefully, if he didn't ruin his laptop. He spilled water on his laptop shortly after making the stream. And the future of this next video he was talking about that he was going to be putting out, that he was still editing, sounded intriguing. So I really hope he didn't lose that footage. It's I asked 50 psychics to predict my future. He went to various psychics around New York City and wanted to see, what was the common thread that they all brought up and what his future would hold. And he was putting it on a spreadsheet, as Wilbur does, and he loves his data. So I look forward to that, and I hope it's not all lost.
When I heard about it, I thought, nobody's ever done that before. That's very interesting. If they have, I've not heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is a very interesting subject
And
to
50
see what.
is
Quite.
a lot.
Yeah. But what was the problem with the laptop? Got water on it, but what did we discover?
Well, I actually asked my IT guy at work about what he should do. And he said, "Is this a joke? Because that's a MacBook from like 20 years ago." And I'm like, "How the hell does he even know that?" He's like, "Whose is that? I might have a spare around here." I'm like, No. It's lead singer of a band in UK. That's very kind of you.
It could be a joke. Who knows with him?
Yeah, so he did give some advice for drying it out. But, when I looked closer, it did look like there was a disk drive on it, which I guess would make it an older model. You don't see that anymore.
Very
But if
true.
it ain't broke until now, you don't
Well,
fix
it's the updates, though, isn't it?
True. That's true, the updates. So, I don't know. That could be messing with us.
Either that or it's a bit. I mean...
Right, it could be a bit, or who knows. Maybe he wanted to see who could tell how old that laptop was. I asked the best guy.
Yeah, well, you passed. I'm going to say I'm curious to see if their predictions matched or how different they were.
I'm super curious, yes. I know he said he made some enemies out of those psychics because they weren't crazy about him recording the sessions or filming the sessions. So it also required a bit of crafty editing so you didn't see the psychics or they were obscured in some way.
That's right. Yeah.
But it could go two different ways, couldn't it? Everybody could be the same, or the majority of people be very close to, or it could have 40, 50 different answers.
We shall see.
I could see why some of the psychics were like, "Oh, I'm going to cancel your appointment."
Yeah. I wonder if they share their stories with the others so that they're all on the same page. Like, This is what I told them. That would be my worry, is that it's tainted by that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean,
okay, I know he said kind of jokingly that they've got a WhatsApp group, but they may well have.
They might. Oh, and I don't know if he used a fake... I wonder if he used a fake name, too. That would make sense if he used a fake name, so that way they couldn't say Will Gold, blah, blah, blah.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out, hopefully.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we also had, since our last episode, Wilbur was on a podcast. Krista Makes a Podcast. Krista Makes is from the band Less Than Jake. And so between his appearance on that podcast and his stream, we did get some information, some Lovejoy tidbits that Angie so carefully compiled into an amazing 3-page outline. So all the bases are covered. So this is super impressive. So Angie, you want to kick us off with the new EP discussion?
Oh, sure. Yeah, he did say, and I know this was on April 20th, and I counted, he said very, 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 very soon. Whatever that means. What do you guys think? I know you had some predictions.
Well, it's interesting you counted 4 because remember there was the whole debate if it's 4 songs.
Oh no,
4 songs asterisk.
Just don't go down there because it could be 5.
Oh, we didn't do a hedgehog update. Hedgehog is by himself right now. He had a hedgehog with a Poland flag, a hedgehog with a turkey flag, and now he's just a hedgehog. Just had to sneak that in there. That's the hedgehog update in
he's
Wilbur's
a lonely hedgehog
Instagram bio. But anyway, 4 seems to be a common number that's been coming up. Studio 4, the Anvil Cat record was Studio 4. All right, sorry. Sorry.
I thought
Stop.
it was interesting.
Stop now.
Yeah, right. We could go down that rabbit hole for days.
Okay, yeah, so very, 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 very soon. How many songs will be on the EP, and what did he say, Ange?
Well, somebody in chat asked him how many songs were going to be on the EP, and he said, that's a difficult one. And I'm quoting here, 4, smiley face. It'll all make sense in time. So, if you remember, Wake Up and It's Over was supposed to be 4 tracks, ending with Scum. But shortly before it was released, Will posted an Instagram story, and I actually have the CD here. I forgot that I had it. He posted an Instagram story that actually has the CD, but we all know now it says the Golden Hours on it, right? But he had like he had lettering covering it up, so you could just almost kind of see that there was another track on there, like maybe like, okay, he wanted to show it, but he didn't want to show it. Of course, he did it on purpose so people would talk. So Golden Hour was really a surprise 5th track on Wake Up and It's Over. So I'm wondering if that's what we're going to get for this next EP. It really sounds like there's a surprise song on there, and he's just being sneaky about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got Ash with his 4 fingers and all that, saying that there was 4, so we could be in for 5.
That would be awesome.
The way they go.
Yeah.
The more the merrier.
And he also said the EP songs were songs that were cut from One Simple Trick because they didn't feel totally done or didn't fit the vibe of that album. So a lot of people are speculating Wasted Summer may be one of the tracks.
Didn't he ask for that in chat?
Yeah, and someone said, some of you know one of them, right? Somewhere he said that, somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was talking about the tracks on his stream, he's like, some of you know one of them. I'm sure it'll start popping up in chat. So I think we can all pretty much agree, right? Is that what you heard too? I mean, I feel like it's going to be on there, right? It's going to be on there.
I feel like there's going to be a riot if it's not on there because the demand for it everywhere you turn is everybody talking about Wasted Summer. They're like, I'm coming after you, Wilbur, if you don't put out Wasted Summer.
Well, even back in the Spotify thing, he was like, and there's one that you've already heard. So
okay.
I absolutely agree. Reddit is going to melt if Wasted Summer isn't on there.
The only reason I think it might not is because of what he said about it in his stream. He said, Angie, you've heard it more recently than I, the inflection, so I don't want to read the quote without the correct inflection. Maybe you want to read it.
No, it's fine, because actually you were the one that brought this up, and I had totally missed it. Just a few days ago, we were talking about this, and you brought it up about how he wasn't sure about Wasted Summer.
Right, so
yeah, go ahead.
You had written it down, and so pardon me if my inflection is not exactly how he said it or whatever.
I can't remember.
But he said, Wasted Summer, please. No, I don't want to. I don't want to talk about Wasted Summer, man. Don't make me talk about Wasted Summer. Too many bad memories of Wasted Summer. Too much going on there. And that made me think maybe he doesn't want to put it out or doesn't want to sing it anymore. Like, that was like, it had its purpose for him, maybe personally. And it was an experimental sort of song. It's very different. I don't know. They have eliminated other songs that people really liked and still will not stop bringing up to this day. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's not on there, honestly. But when he says a song you know already, I don't know what else it could be other than that. Maybe it's on this EP, but maybe he doesn't make it a single or he doesn't play it at concerts. Maybe he just puts it out there to put it out there. I don't know.
You're right, Lesley. It's the only song that makes sense. But like you said, it sounds like he really is kind of a sore spot for him, or it just brings up bad memories.
I mean, lyric-wise, it's like a heavy song and emotional. Not like all the other songs aren't, to be honest. But yeah, food for thought. He also played 2 snippets from his phone. Yeah, that's 2 songs from the new EP. That happened during the stream, right?
What did we think of those? We can't put them up here,
right?
Because of
copyright
and all that lot. But they are on the stream, on socials. Go find them. What did we think?
First one, I freaking loved. I mean, not that I didn't like the second one either. The second one sounds great too. But the first one was, Will even described it as rock and roll heavy guitars. It's, yeah. It sounds like a banger.
Has Angie written all over it.
How about you guys?
Absolutely.
What did you think?
Again, the first one sounded better than the second one. Clearly, we only heard it from a phone, through a microphone, through our speakers.
Right.
So it's completely distorted as such.
Mm-hmm.
But I preferred the first one to the second one.
I was going to say, Angie, the speculation is that first song is Curse These Metal Hands, is it?
I think the speculation is that the second clip was Curse These Metal Hands.
Okay.
Because he had mentioned something in the stream after he played it. He said, like, it's my all-time favorite on this EP, and I can't wait for this one to come out.
That's right.
And then when Will was on the curse I'm giving
the Cursed podcast.
The Curse to Makes podcast. Yeah, the Curse to Makes podcast. Will talks about the song. He talks about a song named Curse These Metal Hands, and he says it's one of my favorites that I've ever written. And it was a song that got cut from the album. So I think people have put two and two together and are kind of speculating that second clip is Curse These Metal Hands.
That makes sense.
Perfect.
Since you referred to them both that way.
I keep wanting to call it Kirsty, though. Kirsty's Metal Hands.
Stop.
I love these titles they come up with, man, though. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
He said these were potentially on the album, or one didn't fit the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with both of those tracks not necessarily fitting the vibe from the album. So I think it was wise to remove them.
Wasn't there something else he said, Lesley, about why these 4/5 tracks might not be on the album? They weren't done, maybe, that they were still...
Well, yeah,
they weren't cooked.
They weren't fully baked.
Weren't fully totally
Is that
done.
what he said?
So in addition to maybe not fitting the vibe, they didn't feel totally done. So
Okay.
like you said, fully baked, Dave. I think that's right.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So we had some One Simple Trick lore that came about with these. Let's see, is this from the stream or actually, I guess it's both. They really blended together some of the stream conversation as well as the podcast. Again, thank you, Krista Makes, for having Will on. That was like a fascinating hour. I hope he comes back and talks about other songs.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant. It was really neat.
Really enjoyed that.
Just to quickly jump in with, it was primarily a discussion about the song Scoundrels, really dissecting it musically, like bar by bar and lyric by lyric. It was fascinating. It was a little bit geeky at times for me, but I totally ate it up, enjoyed it. And I would love to hear the whole album done that way, pulled apart.
Absolutely. For me, as I've said on the last one, I don't always go in depth into lyrics. You two have gone in depth with lyrics. So listening and recording the last pod of ours about Scoundrels. Scoundrels is one of my favourites. But listening to you two dissect it that way, listening to them two dissect it that way, fabulous. Absolutely fantastic. Loved it. To put both in together, loved it.
It was very cool, and it seems to be what he does as a podcast host, so it makes me curious to listen to other episodes and check them out for sure. I've subscribed, and so I don't want to miss them.
Link will be on the website.
Yes.
It's a really cool concept for a podcast. I dig it.
Moving along to the OST lore, it wasn't meant to be a concept album, but kind of ended up being a inimitable writing procedure. I like that he used the word that I only knew for the first time from Hamilton. Of course, we know Wilbur's a Hamilton fan, so he's added that to his vocabulary repertoire.
Right. I thought it was interesting, too, because and I tried to find the exact interview this morning, but I couldn't find it. There was an interview back from 2023. I think it was later in the year, where Will talked about that he wanted the next album to be a concept album, and this was before One Simple Trick was, as far as we know, even a twinkle in their eye. I think it's interesting that they went from wanting the next album to be a concept album to then coming out with One Simple Trick and then curving back around to revisiting the concept album. I'm really excited to hear how it turns out.
Now,
obviously, we have a wild wait, but
now
always
this
waiting.
This goes to say, a couple of podcasts ago, I said to you folks, if we didn't have One Simple Trick and the situation didn't happen, what album would we get? Now, he's already said he's writing a concept album. Are some of those from what we should have got?
Well, it's interesting. During the stream, he mentioned that all of the One Simple Trick songs were written in that room that he streamed from. The room with the big mural, the Anvil Cat skull mural that seems to be their studio. I know he said it had an
animal.
Yeah, it has like a demo recording booth and stuff. So you start to wonder, okay, well, if you really want to get into the weeds, how long have they had this place? When did they start writing it? Because I think that's what we've talked about before, is when were some of these songs on One Simple Trick written? Were they older, or were they just written,
they've had
within
that
the
space
last few years
for a good while.
Because
okay, Mark
so it's been
would
a while.
post drum covers from there.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Drum covers from in there.
I love the Arctic Monkeys
catch.
505 cover. Yeah, so definitely they've had it for a bit.
Yeah.
Carrying on, Will's the synth player on the record, but he says he has no idea what he's doing. In fact, he said that messing around on the synth for the demo they ended up using those recordings on the actual album, because to recreate it would have been difficult.
Time consuming.
Yes. So it makes me wonder what they do on tour then, with the keyboardist doing it. I guess they figured
somebody in the
Oh.
music business that's there would be able to listen to that track and go, this is this.
replicate it.
This is chord, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And replicate
Somebody that
it.
knows what they're doing. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Not us.
Unlike us or Will, apparently. Yeah.
Yep. He also mentioned that only a couple songs have a trumpet, focused more on the synth this time as compared to their other songs and albums. And they recorded at Ali Chant's studio in Bristol, who played a major part in the production of OST and its signature sound. Gave him a lot of credit. But he did say for the next concept album, they were going to probably go in a different direction just to try other, ideas and
yeah,
things.
most bands do, though,
Yeah.
don't they? They,
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll go back to whoever in a few years' time because that's the sound that they want.
Yeah, sounds cool to me.
I thought it was interesting because I know there's been some discussion on the interwebs about some people have criticized the production, saying that it feels very sparse. But
Yeah, I
during
don't
this
get
Chris
that.
to Makes podcast, Chris actually said that he really liked Allie's production because he said it feels genuine, it feels real, it feels like you guys are a 4-piece band that could just go to a pub and plug in and play a gig.
Yeah. I loved that. I really did.
But I also don't understand the sparse bit, because to me there's so much texture. I feel like there's so many layers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I've never produced anything, but to me, I'd feel like every time you listen, or if you have headphones on, like Angie, we've talked about before, you hear all the little things in the background, like voices sometimes you didn't even realize were there. So I don't really get the sparse bit. But I do like the idea of what he said about, this 4-piece band, like not being overproduced is a quality these days. So I like that.
You know that they're going to plug in and you are going to hear OST as you kind of heard it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
for sure.
All right. So you two love Scoundrels. That's been one of your top favorites from the album. Both of you have said in previous episodes. So I'd welcome you to do take over the scoundrels discussion from the Krista Makes podcast.
He basically said it was about the internet and about social media. At this point, do I turn around and say BS? I think it's much more deeper than that, but I think he was holding back to be
kind of surface.
Yeah, polite.
For sure.
I think most of us fans kind of know, I'm not going to say who, but what it's about. And that sort of little bit was a little bit, oh, come on, tell us, give us some more. Don't just skim across the surface. Yeah.
Don't play it so safe, but kind of needs to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He leaves that up for us
I get it.
Bounce around online and on the
for us to get it painfully wrong.
Yeah.
Although I was thinking about it today, it was like one of my shower thoughts was I was wondering if ever he reads or hears our theories and thinks, I actually like that better than what I wrote it for.
Yeah, and not just our theories.
Is that?
Yeah.
Am I being egotistical thinking that? No, I just think maybe he's like, wow, that's really clever.
If that ever happens, I hope we find out somehow because I would die. Because doesn't he always say that fans usually get it painfully wrong? Like, he said it in a very kind of loving sort of way. Like, I love you guys, even if you get my lyrics painfully incorrect or something. So, it'd be nice to know that we actually got it right for once.
Right. Did we get it right, or did he like our version of backstory, even if it's not in mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be even better.
Just saying.
I love what he said about, I guess you call it the outro, where it feels like it's pent out, like something needs to burst, where he starts with, what's it even mean to be accepted? Yeah. I thought that was really cool because that's exactly what it feels like. So it was just neat for him to put that into words.
Yeah. That's my favorite part of the song. It's not one of my top favorite songs on the album, but once it gets to that part, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. This is that. Yeah. I love this part. I love that part. I could just listen to that part over and over again.
How can it not be one of your top 3 songs?
I have other top 3 songs. That's what makes us all unique.
It's like when you look on Reddit and they go, oh, what's your favourite from OST 6 months down the line? How are you thinking? And they're like, oh, I like this song, I like that song. And I'm thinking, where the hell is Scoundrels and Monochrome? They're quality, absolute,
you know what it
fantastic
is? I think if
tunes.
I had to pick favorite lyrics from the whole album, they would be at the top.
Favorite song, not lyrics.
Those lyrics are like my favorite lyrics in the album, but not top songs. Top song, no. But I never skip any songs. I listen all the way through, every time.
I must admit, I do. I still can't get my head around why people like Perfect Blue, but then this is exactly it. Everybody's different. We all like different things. So I understand if Perfect Blue was your top song. It's not for me, but it is for them. But, Scoundrels should be up there in your top 3.
It's always interesting. Yeah, the tier list that people come up with, they have Deathbox at the bottom. I'm like, what? What? Anyway.
I liked what Will said, too, about, he talks about Joe and how Joe carries some of the light, higher melodies in Scoundrels, which I think sometimes, although Joe has definitely had more of an opportunity to shine on OST, which I love.
Definitely.
It's really cool of him to point that out on Scoundrels because that's not something that I might have picked up on my own. I don't know much about music. Joe, you do it all. You're a rock star.
I feel like he's a diamond in the rough. Now it's starting to get revealed, right?
Yeah. He's like the backbone of the band.
Because he doesn't look like a rock star. There's a lot of indie bands over the years that you look at them and you think, okay, you're very middle class, out of university, you dress like this. He doesn't even dress like the middle class university rock star. He's just got his little coat on, turned up jeans, And that's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Flannel.
look like a rock star, but it's exactly what you said, Ange.
He's just a guy. He's just a guy in his Carhartt, and he
His
loves
beer.
his beer and he loves his football. Yeah, but underneath all that, he is a rock god.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Ash, he dresses like a rock star.
Yeah, he
you look
does.
at some of these rock stars out there, they dress like rock stars all the time. You know?
And the other fun part, just to wrap up the scoundrels discussion, was the screaming section. Right before the outro, Will said he was in the studio late at night, just screaming from one side of the studio into the room mic. I thought that was cool.
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall. That would have been great.
Yeah. And I hope he doesn't have, nearby neighbors that hear him screaming. I hope it's soundproof.
I was surprised at the amount of really good info that we got from his stream and from the podcast that he did with Krista Makes. Once you kind of drill down a little bit, there is some good, juicy stuff in here.
Mm.
And it's
absolutely,
especially with the stream, because you would think maybe he wouldn't talk so much about the Lovejoy stuff. He'd focus more just on the GeoGuessr and, silly chit chat kind of stuff.
Well,
but that was fun.
For me personally, thank goodness, because, I'm a big fan of Lego, but for me to sit and watch a person build Lego, many people do it.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch paint dry.
But you're also not the demographic of the average Lovejoy fan.
I get that. Absolutely. I totally get that. But I'm glad we got a lot of information across both as a Lovejoy fan. Yeah.
We got info beyond the EP regarding their next album, which we've touched on already. Lovejoy's in the process of writing a concept album, technically a rock opera, which I'm a huge fan of Tommy, so hearing the words rock opera, exciting.
Yeah, rock opera. I immediately thought of Black Parade, so that's kind of my
of course you did.
my faves.
Let's see. Future touring. He said there's a few songs from Wake Up and It's Over. He wants to start playing again. Warsaw is great. Consequences. Golden Hour Somewhere. When asked if they'd ever tour Scandinavia, Will said, Italy and Scandinavia, such a long stretch, long, thin countries with large spaces between the population centers means you've got a lot of travel time. And that cuts back. If they could afford it, they would do it, but it makes it tricky for touring, unfortunately.
I fully understand that. Unless you've got a couple of capitals which you can dart across and zigzag sort of thing down, then it could potentially work. But I understand that.
Oh, and Dave,
sense.
we forgot to touch on it. Those that turned out for Poland and Turkey, quite a few traveled far distances.
Oh, it blew my mind again. And I believe it's the same person, but at the London show, a girl flew in from Hungary. A girl flew in from Hungary to Poland. Somebody flew in from the UK to Poland.
And some are like trains. I don't know if there's one between what things, but...
Did I hear 17-hour journey? They truly have dedicated fans.
Yeah. And to get to see your favorite band in these smaller venues, to have these meet and greets, these VIP options.
Yeah. I mean, I could have hopped on a plane quite locally, flown into Warsaw quite cheaply. I could have done the whole thing quite cheaply. Still been a few £100
for the pod.
It was my birthday.
Even better.
Right?
No brainer.
And then I'd have my daughter, can I come? No. Why can't I come? Because you've got school.
Well,
then you're not going.
Poor child. Deprived, that one.
Yeah. Yeah, as all our kids are.
If she doesn't do her homework, she will be.
All right. I asked if they'd come back to Australia. Oh, man. What do you mean? 100%. That's not even a maybe. Like, as long as Lovejoy is around, or we're coming to Australia. Now, that's a trip Angie and I won't be able to make because I think that's definitely cost prohibitive.
Yeah, don't look at me either. That's stupid amounts of time on a plane, stupid amounts of money on a plane. I've got family in Sydney, which cuts the cost
Lodging.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I might drive around the UK for a couple, but
All right. Solo career. Ange, do you want to touch on Wilbur talking about solo career prospects?
During his stream, he divulged that he is hoping to release a solo album in the big year of 2026. He says he's got some songs written, and somebody asked, are they going to be sad? He's like, no, not really. He said again, just like with Mammalian Sign Reflex, that it would just drop without any fanfare, no real promotion, or just ploop, there it is. So I guess we'll keep our eyes peeled.
Yes. You know we will be. And then he played a song that might make it on the album.
all I can say is thank goodness I'd turned it off by then. Otherwise, I would have listened to a Wilbur solo track.
Oh, no.
Not without your face being recorded.
I know. So I haven't actually heard that. And I know you put it on the socials.
Mm-hmm.
I just liked it and moved along.
I don't know if I put that one on the socials. I just put Jubilee Line. I guess I should be putting
It
the
might
other
have been
one.
Jubilee Line then. You didn't put the other one on.
Oh, but you shouldn't have heard Jubilee Line either.
Oh, I hear clips because you scroll through the TikTok and you hear clips and it's like,
in case
I've
any of you
never listened to a full song.
If you're a new listener, it's because we are in the works or to have a Dave Reacts series on YouTube. Dave reacts to Wilbur solo songs because he's not very familiar with any or most of them.
The only song I've ever heard was E-Girl, which was played to me. I've heard clips. That's it.
Sometimes I play that one on repeat like 20 times. I just get in one of these moods. I just have to. I don't know what to say. Alrighty then.
Yeah, moving along.
General Lovejoy info. The live shows have no supplemental pre-recorded tracks. All the sound you hear is just them, but they do use a click track. Is that thing that like keeps them like the meter? Is that what they mean? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Which I found crazy that's like what they hear in their ears during the show. Isn't that wild? Like to hear that clicking in their ears the whole time.
Yeah, it would get annoying.
It's bad enough for me to listen to you two for an hour. Let alone having clicking going on.
Yeah, right? Can you imagine? Will sometimes uses a vocal hiccup is how Chris DeMakes referred to it as. Scoundrels, normal people things. I love when he does that. I have to admit, when I first heard it in Normal People Things, I thought it was kind of weird. But now I love it, and I sing along with the songs doing it too. That little, like, whatever they call it, slide. He called it a vocal slide.
I love in the Normal People Things video where he does that, someone like you, and then he somehow raises one of his eyebrows. Like, he's totally like frozen, except he just raises one eyebrow. You? I can't do it, but...
You kind of did.
It's like, whoa.
You?
Yeah. But yeah, he says the band, I don't know if he's, yeah. He says the band doesn't like when he does that. And I was like, what?
He wants they don't want to, he'd sprinkle them in, but don't overdo. But I enjoy it. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Absolutely.
I do too.
Just another thing with Scoundrels we wanted to touch on was the ending of the song. Just let's go back before we finish up that podcast interview discussion. The end of the song, a scoundrel's all I'll ever. And we thought he was going to say all I'll ever be. But he says, because he doesn't finish the line. But Ange, what did he say on the podcast was what is the missing word there?
He said it was know, all I'll ever know, KNOW, which kind of blew my mind. I was like, what?
Yes. Because I can't hear that like being sung either. Like, all I
can't either.
It doesn't like, to me, it doesn't flow, but that's because I always filled in the blank with B in my brain.
I know. Or maybe in his mind, he says it like at the end of White Shark Cafe, where it's like, no. Just that loud kind of
Crossed my mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, maybe
We
they
don't
just
know.
put it in the other one instead of that one. I mean, you don't want two songs that ended with the same sounding word.
Yeah. We'll
I
cut that
don't
off
know.
there.
I don't know.
I don't know. It threw me off too.
It did. It did.
So that makes me think, how much other crap do we get wrong? We got that one word wrong.
Do you know what?
All of it.
How many times have we been like, this week we're going to get something, this week we're going to no, let's not record.
I can't do it anymore.
Let's
I
do it
can't
the following week.
do it anymore. I can't go on live on Instagram or TikTok anymore and say, guys, tomorrow is Tuesday. It's gonna be something. Friday, it's gonna be something. No, I can't do it anymore.
I mean,
one of these times will be right. So we just keep saying it, and eventually we'll be right.
Wasn't it like a broken clock is wrong right twice, 2 times a day?
Yes, that's us.
Yeah, that's us. Once again, we know nothing for sure. Personally, Wilbur mentioned he's sort of split between living in New York and England. He's always wanted to live in New York and spending some time there, hasn't been enjoying it. So he's sort of sees himself going back and forth, which is good for me and good for Dave. And Angie will just have to pick one.
New York's closer to you, Ange.
I guess I'll just have to live in New York.
Hopefully, you'll both be on a plane when he flies to UK. So you can sit next to him.
Oh, gosh. I'm sure that's exactly what he wants. One of us sitting next to him.
Yeah, I'm sure he would love that.
I'm sure he'd rather be like unknown on the plane. So anyway, to finish up this episode of the pod, we thought we would start a new segment, because why not in episode 21? We've received some really great reviews since the start, and we've acknowledged, I think we did in the beginning days, some of them that we've gotten, but we sort of have enjoyed them on our own without mentioning them on here. And so we felt it would be nice to acknowledge and thank those that have gone to the trouble of leaving us reviews. And please, I hope this inspires some more and to leave your ratings for Spotify, the 5 stars, if you like it, if you like us. So I just wanted to pull out some reviews. These are probably from like the last 100 days or so. We don't get a million reviews, but the ones that we do get are warm our hearts. So
Absolutely.
Bug on Spotify said, these podcasts have been making my workday so much easier. Great work as always. That is awesome.
It does. It's lovely. You know, sometimes some of us don't always see them straight away or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we just post it across time difference, and you kind of wake up and you think, oh, that's lovely. And then you sort of go in and thank them very, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's lovely. Yeah. Joanna?
Mm-hmm.
I love watching these. They always make my day. Keep it up. With a hedgehog emoji.
So sweet.
That's very cute. And I think I met Joanna, if this is the right Joanna, at Summerfest. And if this is the right Joanna, you were super sweet. And thank you for leaving the review. And I'm really glad that I got to meet you.
Oh, that's nice.
There's another one here from Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Sky says, the intro from the boys still makes me so happy. My heart. Aw, it makes us so happy too. Thank you for saying that, Sky.
You know, the other day in my car, I was listening to something and it ended, and then our podcast came on the radio, and all of a sudden I hear, hello, Lovenjoyers. I was like, whoa. It took me a second. I was like, oh, that's us. That's our show. That's cool. It doesn't get old. AJ on Spotify wrote, I've been waiting for this episode. I can't wait for the new songs and everything that Lovejoy is working on. Keep up the good work, guys. That was regarding the new EP songs. So thank you, AJ.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Amy said, cool intro, fire podcast. But then I love that. Short and sweet. Cool intro, fire podcast. I will take that.
Thank you so much, Amy. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm Frog Kid on YouTube. Decided to watch this while having a breakdown in the bathroom. I am now smiling from ear to ear.
Oh
I'm
my
glad we
goodness.
done that for you.
I'm glad we could help. Aw.
Like, really, thank you for like taking the moment to even tell us that, even though you're having a tough time. And I'm glad that we helped you like get you out of it a bit in our own way.
That means so much. That's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's thank you for letting us know that. We feel special.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to be featured, leave us a review.
Yeah. Just a couple more Milkshake V7S. Whoa, love this Lovejoy Nation podcast. Also, Banjo Stig 67. So glad you guys used it as the intro. It was so cool seeing the post on Instagram a few weeks ago. Why am I not surprised Will messed it up to begin with? LMAO. Oh, that's awesome. I just love it. So thanks, guys. It really means a lot to us. And thanks as always for listening. And we hope that we have news in the coming soons, like big news. We are due for some big news.
Maybe
Yes.
8.
See you on the socials. See you online. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Ciao.
Bye.